So I have a very awesome coaster countdown for all y'all. This is the top 5 Giga Coasters around the world. Yes, I'm including the ones that are not in the US because there's not enough to do a top 5 in the US. So here it is, the top 5 Giga Coasters around the world. Now I understand if you get upset at this countdown because this I will just say this countdown is a little bit opinion based, but it's based on what you think of roller coasters. If you think of airtime, then certain coasters will be ahead of others. If you love intensity, then some other coasters will be higher than others. But nonetheless, we'll get started with these top 5 Giga Coasters. I got my coaster shoes on. I hope you have yours on, because let's get started! Okay, like I just said earlier, a lot of people are going to have different opinions, and I put number 5 as Leviathan. Here's the reason why. Even B&M says this, but they don't even count this as a Giga Coaster. They count this as their Hyper Hybrid. Basically, it's a hyper coaster, but you know, really tall. So that's the thing with this one. This was definitely a testing thing for B&M. They weren't sure if they wanted to do this, and it was definitely more hypercoaster based than Giga Coaster based. So that's why some of the features aren't what you see on like the Fury 325. And don't get me wrong, this is a great roller coaster, but I just think out of all the 5, this one is in the bottom. Number 4 is Steel Dragon 2000 at Nagashima Spaland in Japan. Here's the thing, like Leviathan, this was also a testing coaster for DH Morgan Manufacturing. Unfortunately, they did not do another Giga Coaster after this like B&M, but this is a very fun ride. Little known fact, this is the longest roller coaster in the world. Over 8,000 feet of track. Can you imagine that? 8,000 feet of track. That's a lot of track. So, I mean, it's got more of a hypercoaster base too, like Leviathan, where it's more about the airtime. And the airtime is phenomenal. Good job, Morgan, for doing that, but they're known for their ejector airtime. It's got a lot of airtime, and this was a new thing too. With Giga Coasters, you have to make your track ultra smooth, so this is the first thing for Morgan, since most of their coasters can be a little bit on the rougher side, but it turned out to be a really good job, and this is a very fantastic Giga Coaster. Okay, like I just said earlier, and I'm going to keep repeating this because some people don't get to understand, but it depends on what style of person you are when it comes to roller coasters. If you love airtime, this is definitely going to be your number 1. If you're into very extreme, intense stuff, then you'll know what will be number 1 in this countdown, and that's me. Fury 325 is the best B&M coaster that, in my opinion, has ever been made. It is phenomenal. This ride packs a punch with just a single bank turn after bank turn after bank turn, and it has that awesome treble clef. It's just airtime. Now that's the thing. B&M is really good with airtime, but they're not good with sharp, insane turns. Now they are good with banks, and I gotta tell you, these bank turns are phenomenal. You're getting airtime on your bank turns, and that's what coaster enthusiasts like me can live up to. And this is a phenomenal ride. Let me just say that. Don't get me wrong. This is one of the best roller coasters in the entire world, and it deserved to be in the top 3, not only for the Giga Coasters, but in coasters around the world. And you can switch number 3 and number 2, but number 2 is Millennium Force, rightfully so. Here's the thing, Millennium Force is a perfect ride. I'm an intimate lover, so it's undoubtable, right? All the intimate coasters would be in the top 2. Millennium Force is great. Here's the thing, I love it. It was more of a nighttime ride for me than anything else. I think the daytime ride is alright, but what really makes the ride is the nighttime ride. The drop is incredible, and let me tell you, when you get up to the top, this thing looks taller than it actually is. It is phenomenal, but like unlike Fury, this ride is kind of meandersome a little bit. Let me just say this. It goes into a bank turn, and then it kind of goes into somewhat of a left turn into an airtime hill, and kind of will turn off into a bank turn. Let me tell you this, the bank turns are great, but remember, this was also another testing coaster, since this was the first Giga Coaster, so it doesn't have some of the crazy effects that you see on most of the Giga Coasters today. But let me tell you, for how old it is still going strong, and man is it good. No wonder why it keeps being number 1 best steel roller coaster of all time. Now, if you're a very intense style person when it comes to roller coasters, then without a doubt, Intimidator 305 is going to make the countdown. Intimidator 305 is definitely one of those that is not looked upon because it's not that fast, or it's not that tall when it comes to Giga Coasters, or it's just not that great. Alright, so it has the steepest drop on any other Giga Coaster. It is the most intense coaster that I've ever ridden, and is one of the most intense roller coasters in the world. And it never loses speed. Same thing with Fury too. I found that with Fury and a little bit of Millennium Force, this ride never loses its speed. It just keeps going on even after the brake run a little bit, the mid-course brake run. You can still feel like it's retaining that speed. Now, of course, I wish they did not have that brake run on that airtime hill, but this thing is meant for the sharp turns. I think the cool thing that Intamin did here was incorporate some of the Maverick features with the Millennium Force features, and that definitely made this ride a whole lot better. And I wish more Giga Coasters were like that, and that's why I think Intimidator 305 is the #1 Giga Coaster in my opinion. Now, what are your top 5 favorite Giga Coasters? I want to see that in the comments below. I want to see your opinions on what you believe to be the top 5 best. Thank you all for watching, Coaster Fanatics. I hope you enjoyed this awesome countdown, and as always, keep coasting.